Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions, but we're going to give them to you anyway. I'm Jim, and that's it again, Jim. So we is the mouse in my pocket I'm referring to. So welcome back, and shout out to our loyal listeners, Johnny and Christine. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this even episode is really because of you guys. It's not that we don't enjoy doing this. Well, I can't really speak for we. I do enjoy doing these episodes. Unfortunately, not everyone shares that opinion, so they don't make time for it, and we're running out of. I don't know. We're running out of interest. I mean, I'm not going to say that we put a lot of effort into this because that's not fair. We really don't. But we do enjoy coming together. We do enjoy having conversation, hanging out. But apparently, it's hard for most of the co-hosts and stuff to make this a priority in their life, and it's not a knock on them because that's not what this is about. This is a place for you where you can come, and I just haven't had the time to reach out to try to gain more people. So what I'm afraid of before I go into this little whiny, bitch fest of woe is me, because I'm not one to dodge responsibility. Clearly, I could probably try to find some time or ways to make this more entertaining, more valuable to other people. And I will do that. There will be an attempt to move things around. But in the meantime, clearly we don't have enough episodes or enough participation to get out some good episodes. I personally don't want to just sit on here like a talking head and just talk to you about stuff. I'm going to go ahead and attempt it today just to run through some headlines just so we can get some content out there because I'm not a quitter either. But if you are seeing this, spread it around. Get a veteran on here. I know there's veterans out there that want to participate in podcasts. We're willing to move this in any direction. I mean, it just doesn't have to be the way it is. And I'm not, a dictator in this stuff. This is for the veterans. So, if you want to get on here and talk about sports or anything, I'm even going to open it up to people who aren't veterans because I just think the conversation's good. I think it's a good place to have a conversation. I will still offer a veteran's opinion since I am a veteran, but we'll move about it, and I'm more than willing to be flexible and go with it. Again, time is limited, so I don't exactly have the time to dedicate to all this myself, and obviously my helpers are suddenly disappeared. They've got other things in their lives that take priority, and nobody's going to knock them for that. So, yeah, we're going to do what we can do. So anyway, that's a long 5 minutes of nothingness that has nothing to do with the show we're going to do. So I am going to go ahead and get into some headlines just so I can share my opinions and talk about some stuff that's in the media. You may not like it, again, this isn't my forte. I don't really care to sit here like a talking head. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's something that really pisses me off, I'm sure I can get on my soapbox and give you guys my own opinion. But I really like to feed off the energy of other people and things like that. So let's just see if we can get somebody on here. Johnny, Christine, both of you even welcome on here. You guys loyal listeners. We could turn this into your show if you want. Anyways, enough of that whining little stuff. Put that aside. Let's get on to some headlines, some stuff to talk about. And first thing I got here is Kate. Wow. Cat Williams buys former Alabama military base to launch movie studio. Now, for those of you who don't know or may not know, I'm a Fort McClellan two-time guest, I guess you could call it. I was there for basic, and I was there for one of the units I was stationed in, 209th MP Company. And I will tell you probably my best and favorite, most respected unit I've ever been in. So I'm pretty familiar with Fort McClellan, Alabama. Some things you didn't even know about Alabama itself. Kind of a weird place. I did get to go to a Talladega race there, which I recommend anybody go to a race, put it on your bucket list so you can get up on that fence line and just watch that. It was awesome. Then I left because I really have no interest in racing. People driving around in circles does not impress me. The crashes maybe, but I'm not. Even hockey's my favorite sport. I don't show up to watch the fights. I like all of it. Just not a racing guy. So, anyways, yeah. So Alabama, it was also a chemical base. Now I know there was a lot of things thrown up in the air about all the possible contaminants there and things like that. So this really intrigues me because on one hand you got a whole bunch of veterans fighting to declare that Fort McClellan to be some contaminated area so they can all get paid for exposure and stuff like that. But then on the other hand, you're watching somebody buy the base. So I'm going to have to assume at some point either there's nothing there or these people are going to have to mitigate all that, which is really weird to me. So I don't know. I don't know what this really means to me. Like, who would sell or buy a contaminated base? So I have to assume that the fight is over. It's not contaminated because they sold it. Because I have to assume that there'd be some liability if the government were to sell that, or however this transaction took place. Because maybe the government gave it back to the town or something. I'm not quite sure. There is some stuff in the article, but I'm really not. I don't really want to spend all the time reading it. I just wanted to say that I was there, and I kind of sad they closed it down. But yeah, hopefully they make better use of it as a movie studio. All right, so yeah. Anyways, let's move on. This is why I don't really like to do this myself, because it's kind of like a, there's no kind of breaks you get when you're doing it all by yourself, and I don't really put enough thought into this in preparation to script it. So I'm not going to script it anyway. I think scripting is kind of stupid unless you're doing a commercial, like a Jaguar commercial. Not even going to talk about that. Anyways, so next thing is State Hurricane Recovery Agency acknowledges accounting errors on work in eastern North Carolina. So this kind of bothers me. I mean, I lived in North Carolina for a little while, and I don't know. From two angles, this bothered me. First of all, my heart goes out to those people that were really affected by the storm. I mean, you are. Unfortunately, with this stuff, there's other people you got to omit, because unfortunately, no matter, even in the hardest of times for certain people, when you think the country and the communities will come together, there's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of people taking advantage, theft. It's just so sad that, in the times when people and the country and the communities can stand and make a statement and show the world how America's the greatest country, on the globe, my own personal opinion. And I've been to a lot of countries. I haven't been probably to all of them, so that's just my own personal opinion. But, we got a chance to shine, and yet there's people showing up for looting. There's people trying to claim, recovery stuff that don't get anything, and it's just so sad. But what's even more sad to me, that the part when you read this headline, is the incompetence. Now, I know COVID did a lot of damage to the working class and the psyche of people, and it just, because I see it everywhere. I mean, you could go a different angle. We talk about the police, how they were demonized and the good ones quit, and now they're hiring incompetent police, and then they're looking exactly like what people said, oh, look at these police, that they made up about the good ones. But, I mean, the employee, the whole work ethic, I mean, there's more people now that stay home than go to work. And even if you look at, like, I saw an article that I didn't bring up. I saw it a little while back. It was something relating to the amount of work from home people that live around DC, and they're all wealthy. So you've got wealthy DC jobs, and these people are working from home. I mean, I'm going to go on another tangent. I know I'm going to go on another tangent because now I'm starting to get a little heated, because this is what pisses me off. I got people out here, in my community that want to argue about, what a person does with their sex life and who they're sleeping with, and what, if we can kill babies or not, whether we, plan on it or not. Like, all these arguments, and people are mad at each other. Like, people hate you because you voted for Trump or something. Like, and yet the whole time in their entire lives, I promise you, their entire lives, there have been a group of people. You call them the deep state, call them whatever cabal, call them whatever you want. You can go see these people. They work in DC. The entire community is surrounded by these rich people, and they've produced nothing. They've created nothing. All they've done is go in there and manipulate people and make laws and rules and decisions how to spend your money on them, and then they go and invest with insider trading and stuff, and they all get rich. Or they go create a company, a defense company that sells to Ukraine after they know they're going to give them billions of dollars. Like, these people have been doing this crap to you, to me as well, for years. And your dumbass, and I'm going to call you a dumbass, and your dumbass wants to fight with your neighbor because he supports a Trump, the convicted. You're an idiot. You sound like an idiot. Clearly, this swamp needs to be drained because these people are corrupt. And I'm sure if you've ever seen them or seen any government agency, I've seen plenty of them. I've worked with them. Forget about the fraud and the waste of money we have. Forget about that. Look at the waste of people and personnel and all the things that, oh, let's create this and let's create that. Now, this is a state hurricane recovery agency. I don't know what the hell that is. Sounds like it's a state government thing, but government is government. When people are spending other people's money, the four things it's spending, the government is basically spending other people's money on other people. They don't care about cost or quality. They don't care about any of it. And they're going to have all these people in these positions just raking in the money. I mean, these people are getting paid. And I'm going to tell you, some of these are the dumbest people in the world. You're sitting there thinking, like, I can do that job twice as good. And yet I get paid a quarter watching them do their job. Like, I'm going to move on to the next one because I'm not mad. Look, I'm not mad. I am mad. Yeah, I am mad. I'm not really holding this on the corrupt politicians because we all know they're corrupt. We all know there's more evil in DC than there is good. We know that. I'm mad at the people who can't get their turd brain out of, CNNville because Trump incited an insurrection. Let me explain something to you. That wasn't an insurrection. And by golly, if it was, we probably wouldn't have this problem of all these corrupt people working in the government, making lots of money that's ours. Like, what's wrong with you people? I don't get it. I don't understand. And no, I'm not unhinged because I'm not a violent person. But let me tell you, when the bullets start flying, I will pick a side. Not saying I'll be doing anything, but I will remember the people who put my life and my family in danger. I will remember those people. But because I'm getting triggered, I'm going to move on because I'm sure this won't trigger me either, right? Biden-Harris admin aims to forgive $4.65 billion in Ukraine loans. Again, I'm looking at you idiots who think this is about, oh, Ukraine and democracy. Oh, Ukraine and democracy. The government has failed 7 straight audits now. What about the audit on the Ukraine money? Where do you people really think that money's going? Do you really think it's going? Are we paying them in missiles and equipment that we make? Or we giving them money to buy our stuff? Who's selling it? The U.S. government or companies owned by politicians? Come on, people, like, stop buying into the bull crap. This is not about Ukraine. Now, granted, I agree with Trump. People need to stop dying. Unfortunately, there's a rich group of people, again, surrounding D.C. that have no problem gambling with your life, your family's life, your loved one's life, anybody not in their little circle, Their lives are not important, and you're expendable. You are expendable. So unfortunately, they keep doing it. And we got proud service people that answer the call. And most of us, probably didn't go in because, we just loved our country. And we all have different reasons for going in. But at the end of the day, we answered the call. Even when we didn't agree, even when we thought the war was a dumb idea, we did it for this country. And yet these people keep getting rich off of it. And you're mad at your neighbor because he supports a different candidate or he believes in something you don't believe in. God, people, wake the hell up. Now, I know that sounds mean because really, what do you do? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there has to be something, some action item, something to do. And I'm not sure I even have that answer. I just know there's power in numbers. I just, I go back to that little ant movie. What was it? With the little, I don't know, the cricket turk. What is? I don't know. Man, I'm going to reference something. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Either way, it's the power in numbers, man. Just we got to get rid of these people, get them out of office, start getting real people to run. And let me explain where that starts, because I see it in my own community. I've seen it in every community I've been in. It's the local stuff. Your local government matters. This is where these cronies and corrupt fools come from. And let me tell you, I saw it somewhere. A wise man told me, anybody who wants to be in politics, you don't need to vote for. If they feel pulled or drawn or some sort of calling because they have to be there, that's who you need to vote for. And I'll tell you how that usually transpires. They usually don't stay in there long. They go in and make the changes they can. They do the things they have the power to do, and they move on and let the next person come in and clean up and do the rest too. Most people don't want to stay in politics because it's an ugly, dirty business. The ones that do are just trying to get rich off your money, and they're probably dishonest people anyway. People you probably don't want in politics. Anyway, I didn't really think I was going to get triggered in this whole episode, but I was actually concerned I wouldn't have anything to talk about. But again, I guess I'm just babbling on here. But this whole thing right here, this forgiving these billions in loans, like that's the whole thing anyway. It's a loan, it's a loan, it's a loan. And then they forgive them later on anyway. And you know whose money that is? That's your money. That is your money. So Kamala Harris said when she was running for office that she wanted to give all this money to people to buy homes, $30,000, was it $30,000 or $50,000 to get start a home. So where's that money come from? You as well. You as well. So even though I think that's a ridiculous idea, I would rather be duped into giving American citizens or the student loan forgiveness garbage, which is garbage. I'd rather be duped into giving money back to the people of America than this nonsense. So why are we keep doing it? Why do we keep falling for this? Why? I don't understand. Why is this happening? Why do we keep doing it? Anyways, I'm getting triggered and we're getting on in the episode. Let me just go to the last one here. This one's here interesting. This one's a little less triggering, but this is something I think people out there need to understand. I think they need to understand what is happening. We keep getting thrown into all these threat to democracy stuff, and this is directly related to the illegal aliens that's coming across the border, the gangs, all this stuff. Let me read this. Dozens of North Korean waitresses in China recalled because one went AWOL. Now listen to what I just said. North Korean waitresses in China recalled because one went AWOL. Now, what is so similar about these countries? Both of them have communist governments. All right? So we already know this is the socialist, communist direction people are moving to. This is what you call legal slavery, okay? So all you race hustlers and all you people who think that black people own slavery or whatever, the right to complain about slavery, you're being duped again, and you're probably just uneducated, period. It's just that simple. First of all, black people don't own slavery. It started way before them. But I'm not going to get into that. What I'm talking about here, these are North Korean waitresses. And apparently, these are very attractive young women with the people in China, the restaurant that they worked at. Those people enjoyed seeing these attractive waitresses. They would also sing and dance. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's probably way worse than that. But I will also tell you that this stuff happens right here in America. A restaurant that I've frequented here often has these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like transient employees. They move about from restaurant to restaurant. Some in like Chicago to New York to, you know what I mean? They move about to these restaurants. They just get shifted around. And why is that? Why is that they get shifted around? Well, I mean, it's just the weirdest thing because like most normal people usually live somewhere. You know, you could say, all right, they're in the country on a visa and they're traveling because they don't have a permanent home and maybe they get to choose. Whatever, dude. I'm here to tell you that I watched Dubai. Well, I didn't watch it physically, but when I was in Saudi Arabia, I spoke with a lot of the locals and some of the we called them third country nationals about the whole process, and it was very intriguing to me that they would take these people in, like they'd go to the Philippines and recruit. And they'd get all these people because in the Philippines, apparently there's way more people than there are work. And, unemployment was bad and people need to make a living and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they bring them in these job offers in like Saudi Arabia and say, hey, we'll bring you in. We'll pay you X amount of dollars, blah, 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 blah. And then they get them over here to find out they take their passport, give them an in-country passport. They put them in some lodging thing, which isn't always the best lodging. And then they pay them a stipend, sort of a portion of their money. And then the other portion gets put away into an account. And that's basically, as long as they do their job, finish their tour, fulfill their contract, then they can get the remaining of their money. But if they screw up and get deported, they forfeit that money. What do you think happened a lot? They screwed up and got deported. And probably nobody knew it because they just kept doing it in the back door and nobody would know. So it's another form of legal slavery, and that's apparently what I understand is what Dubai was built on. I don't know that for a fact, so that's just speculation and hearsay. But so this is the problem. This stuff exists. These countries exist. So why are you sitting in a country like the United States of America complaining about some racist, whatever, blah, 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 oppression? And there's literally this stuff in the news happening all over. And this article even talks about the entire staff of North Korean women in this Chinese restaurant, to include the manager, was recalled back to North Korea to suffer punishment. And this was obviously leaked by some, I don't want to say anonymous, but unidentified person because they didn't want to get in trouble. And I understand why. But this stuff is happening. And you're not mad about that. Now, you're going to say, well, it's not my country. Okay, so then why do you fly in a Ukraine flag? Why do you care about other freaking countries and on some things, but then you don't give a damn about other countries on other things? Like, it's the stupidest thing in the world. Why do you care about people fleeing all these Mexico and these South America because they don't have enough money when there's little slaves in these communist countries that you could be helping get into this country and give them freedom? But you don't. You don't care about that. Why? Because you're stupid fools that believe everything. Well, not all of you. Obviously, you know who I'm talking about. Probably nobody's watching this. But you get what I'm saying. I'm kind of done with this stuff. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we do need to change the temperature on this show. So, yeah, I don't know. It feels good to get this stuff out. And if you are a veteran out there, or you're not a veteran, you want to get on this show, go on the website. Send a message on the website. You want to get on the show, we'll make it happen. I really don't like to babble on this stuff alone. And again, if you disagree with me, we can have a conversation. You could call me stupid. I can call you stupid, and we can still laugh and have a good time when we're done. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff you're supposed to do. And until then, Godspeed and pull the pen. Boom. Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.